Fourth-ranked middleweight Enson Inoue is home in Japan after defeating Royce Alger in UFC 13.
Get active, I'm standing you up.
You hear me, babe? John, you hear me, bud?
Stay down.
You hear me? You're all right. You're all right, buddy. You're right here. We're all right here, John.
Enson's definitely, in my eyes, the best NHB fighter there is.
He was a good guy, I was the bad guy. I think I got a lot closer when I started fighting. Because for me, if you notice, when I fight, it's not a sport. I'm walking into the ring looking at that octagon or that square, thinking to myself that there's a place that I admit tonight that I might die. And I have no problem with it. And I don't believe I'm gonna lose, but if it happens, it might happen. And if you realize, try to think about it. Think about walking to your possible death place, knowing that and accepting the fact that you're gonna die there. There's so much stress, there's so much tension involved. You go into the ring, you walk in there, the guy who's gonna try and hurt you, you gotta hurt him first.
When I fought Enson in Japan Valley Tudo, I approached that fight like I approach all fights. I took it very seriously. He's a good fighter. He's got a lot of experience and a lot of games. So I was prepared, trained hard for that fight, and him specifically had plenty of notice to try and develop a strategy for him. Basically just made a mistake. Got caught in an arm lock. At this level of fighting, it only takes one mistake to cost you the fight.
So you live as a man. All the hard times you have in life is a test of when you actually get the last test of dying to become a man. Okay? So what happens is that you can live as a man, you can be brave as a man, you can fight as a man, you can raise your family as a man, fight for your belief as a man, but the way you die is going to determine on how well you actually practice that. If I die as a coward, everything that I practiced didn't come to use and I become a man. So I relate to fighting because it's like when you fight, man, you know, hey, you fight just because you think you're gonna get your arm broke, or you think you might get knocked out if you change punches. You know, a lot of fighters run away from that and they don't actually exchange. What I believe is that it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's the way you keep your heart. If you can fight to the end, if you can never have a moment of fear while fighting, it doesn't matter how you lose. If we stand toe to toe and we throw blows toe to toe for 5 minutes, and there's not 1 inch of fear or doubt that comes into my mind, but I'm exchanging full-on blows, and I get caught with a punch, and I go down, and I lose. I didn't lose, you know. The only way he's gonna beat me is to beat me here. And that's why when I fight, if you notice my fights, I don't like to take submissions. I don't like to choke people out unless I'm hurt. If I got the mount, I like to finish with the punching. You'll never see me tap in a fight. I'll never tap in a fight. The ref will stop it or I'm gonna go to sleep. because I'll die as a man. You know? When I fight people, I would like them to think, even if I lose, just for a second, even just for a second, to think that, fuck, I don't want to fight this guy again.
You know, my hardest fight was probably like Ensign Inoue in Vale Tudo, Japan.
Try it again. If you fall, get up and try it again. If you drop, get up and try it again. We tired of being runners up, we coming up. We ready for whatever you put in front of us. Author, here's my story. My life's been full of pain, now where's my glory? I'm so glorious, victorious. We take what we want, we born warriors. So glorious, get up and try it again. If you fall, get up and try it again. If you drop.
Has some impressive credentials. Kevin Jackson, Olympic gold medalist in 92 at 180.5 pounds or 82 kilos. Two-time world champion. Jackson says a key advantage for wrestlers is their superior conditioning.
They're now in a clinch. Now Butler should have enough wrestling background to possibly fend Jackson off, or at least limit him enough to get some strikes in, but Jackson bull rushing him into the fence now. He has an underhook in. He'll look to pick up that near leg. Butler using that overhook like a wizard, doing a nice job of countering. And there it goes.
Turns him over. And starts landing some punches. Looked like a double leg, but it was explosive.
Now Butler's turning his back to him. Jackson should be going right for the throat.
Looking for the submission. And punches to the back of the head. John McCarthy steps in.
He tapped out.
He tapped out.
Just the first round here. Logan, as expected, tried for control. Jackson was ready. That's a guillotine, isn't it, Eagle? Yes, somebody is. So Jackson had Logan storming in the beginning. But he did wrong anyway. He did wrong guillotine, you know? Yeah. Jackson on top here, trying to use some side control. He's actually tried to stalk him a bit. Yes. Punching down with those right hands to the eye that Logan can't see. Elbow back by Logan. Almost an elbow to the face. You're allowed the forearm. I think Jackson looks very calm. So strong. There's a guy that's not only been in wrestling situations, but Olympic pressure too. He's on. That's it. And he's going to choke him out from here, I promise you. That's right. He's going to be unconscious from here. You're absolutely right. Back to wrestling with Jackson. That's it. That's it. It's over.
John McCarthy will start.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
Jackson against Strickland.
Well, the question will be is what can Strickland do from his back?
Oh, what a quick move by Jackson.
Jackson's going to be able to
Looking for
control
a
the
choke out.
situation here.
Looking for a quick choke is Jackson. Lost the grip, goes back in.
Look for him to do what he did in the last fight, start to throw punches to the back of the head.
He threw two, McCarthy's close by. Strickland not in a good position, an unenviable spot on his stomach.
And I'm sure as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist, he's used to getting the takedown. Here against the wrestler, he was unable to do so. And I don't understand why he's fighting from his stomach. There's a tap, Jack.
Kevin, when you and I met the other day coming in off the plane, I told you were even more impressive in person than you were on film. Tonight, you have made a very impressive UFC debut. And it's my pleasure on behalf of the Ultimate Fighting Alliance to add this medal tonight to your collection. Olympic gold and now UFC gold.